Good morning. Welcome to your stretch class of the week. Today we're going to do 30 minutes just to give you something a little bit different, something you can utilize for 30 minutes instead of an hour of your time. I think we're going to focus on lower body today, especially if you took the Yoga Fit class yesterday. You'll probably need a little extra lower body stretches from that. So things you'll probably need: a strap, probably a little yoga blanket or something, um, and your mat. Let's get ready. So I'll give you a moment to get a strap if you need it, a strap or a towel or something, right, to use to wrap around your foot for stretches. Um, and then the towel, maybe just for like your knee or your hip. All right, let's get started. We'll first start in a kneeling position to focus on some of the hip flexors. You can use your towel here. All right, place your knee on the towel or the blanket. We'll get a lunge. So left leg in front, right knee on the ground. We'll first start with your hands on the floor, starting to work into the hips here. Opening up the left hip, hip flexion, starting to get into the back leg hip flexors for that hip extension as you lean forward. Try to find a flat spine here with your shoulder blades coming together in the back and your heart leading the motion front. All right, let's start to lift up. Place your left hand on top of your left thigh, and we'll come to a kneeling lunge. The further the leg is behind your hip, the more hip extension you'll have, so a little more hip flexor stretch. We do want to find low back neutral, so tailbone coming down and back hip forward and the front hip back to find squaring. If that seems a little impossible to do with your knee further back, scoot it forward and you should be able to find a little more stackability. We'll hold this with the tailbone coming downward, the hips pushing forward, heart opening, shoulders back. You can have your arms overhead, play with that, side bend, feel it out a little bit here. Side bend or straight up. Feel your body explore that. Just maintain the hip structure that we talked about. And we'll exhale. Place the hands on the floor. We'll try to come a little bit lower here now into your runners or lizard lunge. So try to get the left foot a little more out to the side of your mat. You can stay here on your straight arms, straight hands. If you can get a little bit deeper, try to get to your elbows. You can lift the back knee or not. Rock back and forth. If you do lift the back knee, feel a little bit like flossing action in the front hamstring. Still trying to find a long spine as best as you can, trying to minimize the rounding of your back. Press back up. Walk the foot back in line. We're going to shift back to a half split. Shift back onto the back knee so the knee is right under the hip. You can keep the blanket there if you'd like. Front leg is extended here now. You can just be on your fingertips. You could be standing right here, using maybe the wall as a helper, right, as you flex forward. If you can keep your hands on the floor with a long spine or having yoga blocks, if you have those handy. But even just using the wall can help you to get a little bit lower and under control. My right hand is touching the wall to the right. Flex the feet up or flex the left foot up toward the knee. You'll feel a nice stretch or difference, a little more intensity through the calf into the hamstring. So these stretches that we're doing are from cold, right? So work into it. It's not going to be the most flexible stretch or lengthening your muscles. That's what matters. We'll inhale, bend into the front leg. You can plant your hands on the floor. Shift that leg back. Same grouping on the other side. Left knee down, right foot comes out in front. We'll start off with just kind of saying hello to the hips here. The leg out in front, right leg out in front, left leg back. Starting to open a little bit here, floss through the hips. Try to find shoulders back, long spine in all these stretches that we're doing here. So we can really isolate the attachments in the hips. All right, drop the back knee. We'll set up for your low lunge. Press the right hand into the right thigh. We'll inhale, lift, trying to find some stretch in this left hip flexor area. The further the knee is back, a little more intense it is. We'll try to bring the back hip forward, front hip back to square off, and then try to find some leveling out of the hips with dropping the front hip and lifting the back hip. You can have your arms overhead or not. You can play with the side bends. You can explore the posture a little bit here. See where your body is feeling sticky today. Tailbone lengthening still, hips pushing a little forward. And exhale, place the hands down on the ground. On the inside of the right foot. Then heel toe the foot out toward the side of your mat. You can stay here. If this feels nice in the hip, you can try to get a little bit lower if that feels nice. This is cold stretching, so don't go too deep too fast, right? Feel it out. Try to find a long spine as best as you can, shoulders back, heart through, broadening your collarbones. Let's take a press back up here. And we'll shift on the back knee to find your half split. Make sure your feet are now hip width apart. Right? Maybe fingertips, maybe you use a wall, maybe you find something to put your hands on. Right hip back, left hip forward, toes in the front flex up toward the knee. Long spine, shoulders back. Lead with your sternum. Inhales, lengthen the crown of your head. Exhales, maybe you find a little more forward fold. All right, place the hands back in the center of on the inside of the foot, and then we'll shift the foot back. And take a seat on your shins here if that's possible for you. If not, you can use the blanket to fold up under your bum. You can put it there. Sometimes that helps. A little something to sit on. Let's come to laying on your back. We use a strap here for the hamstrings. So with the strap, you just lengthen it out. You don't need to do any special loops with it, unless you want to. Place the strap on the ball of the right foot. Flex the toes up toward your face. And grab the strap however you feel you got the sturdy grip on it. I like to wrap it around my wrist so I can just hang my hands as hooks. All right, now that the leg is up, try to pull the toes toward the knee, so flex toes toward your knee. Bring the left hip up, right hip down to find hips level. Now we want to internally rotate the right thigh. So that's the outer thigh comes up and the inner thigh goes down toward the heel. Find a little bit of that internal rotation. You can gently pull the foot closer toward your face if you can maintain those cues I just told you as you do so. to relax your shoulders. Keep the left leg long. Try to let the leg come off the floor. Let's grab the strap with your right hand only. We'll inhale, open up toward the right foot. Try to keep your left hip down on the floor. Flex toes toward the knee. Inhale, bring the foot back up to center. We'll switch the grip. So now grab the strap with your left hand if it's on the right foot. Cross over the body, not fully. We're keeping the right hip down here. Not yet, not fully. Right hip down as best as you can, trying to feel lengthening on the outside of the entirety of the thigh here. Inhale, strap to center. Release the strap, bend the knee. Give yourself a one leg hug here. And then we'll take a cross body with the right knee, left leg long. Arm out like a T to the right. You can use your left hand to press the outside of the right thigh, a little bit more twisty. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release the right leg long. Same thing other side. Strap on the ball, the foot, left foot. And then you'll grab the strap however you like. Flex the left toes up toward the knee. Now we gotta plug the left hip down toward the heel and bring the right hip up to find the same level hips here. Gently internally rotating the left thigh, so outer thigh comes up, inner thigh spins downward a little bit. That should be neutral femur. Right leg long. You can pull the left foot in toward your head a little bit. The knee long, unless you're really feeling the lengthening, like, oh my goodness. And you can bend the knee a little bit, right? Now we'll prepare to open up the thigh toward the left. So grab the strap with left hand. Inhale, open. Try to keep right hip down. Inhale, back to center. Switch the grip. Right hand on the strap. Exhale, cross body. Don't let the left hip come up. Try to keep it plugged down. Trying to get it outside of the thigh stretch, not the twist yet. Inhale to center. Remove the strap. Give yourself a one leg hug. We'll now find your twist. Right leg long. Left knee comes across. Try to keep left shoulder down. Your right hand can press into the thigh to get a little bit deeper twist. Inhale, center. Give yourself a double knee hug here. Big one. Try to keep your low back down on the mat as you pull the knees in towards your chest. And exhale, release. Let's go figure four here. We got right ankle on top of left knee. Thread the needle. While you do so, we're going to try to keep your low back on the mat the whole time here. Thread the needle so left hand comes on the outside of the left thigh, right hand comes through the hole you made. Shoulders down and back, low back pressing into the mat. Pull in the shin, active right ankle on top of the left knee so you can protect your knees. Pull it in, trying to feel some opening on the outside of the right hip. If the figure four doesn't really do too much for you, you can cradle the right foot with the inside of your left elbow, and then same thing for the right knee. Lengthen the left leg out and give yourself a little hug here. Just be careful of the outside of the right knee, active right ankle protects. And exhale to release that. So you can start with either one of those. Probably start with the figure 4 first to open up the hip a little bit. If you want to get a little bit more, we cradle the foot into the elbow and the knee into the elbow crease. Left ankle on top of right knee. Thread the needle. Keep your low back down. Grab the front of the shin. Flex left foot. Low back stays down. Pull in the knee. If you like the cradle, go for the cradle. Hug foot, hug knee. You can release the right leg long. Cradle pigeon. Reset and then release. Let's open up the thighs, Baddha Konasana. Heels in toward the groin. Bob soles of the feet together. Open up the knees like a book. Let it relax here for a little bit. Find your breath. We're going to sit up here to open up the thighs a little bit more with that. For our, we got two options here I'll provide. First option, seated Baddha Konasana, which are heels in toward your groin. Open up thighs like a book. You can press your elbows into your shins and hinge forward. Right? If this is good, you want to hold this one, you can play with the heels close, and you can play with the heels a little bit further out as you hinge forward with a long spine. Second option, I'm going to take the frog pose. It's because I want to get a little deeper into the groin. If you're feeling like you do also want to get a little deeper, this is your option. We open up the thighs to be on the inside of your thighs as you try to find as much opening as possible. The knees are at 90 degrees, flex to 90, and the feet are also flexed actively up. Start to make your forearms to the ground. You can start to try to creep open the thighs a little bit more and push back. Tailbone lengthens down to create a long, low back. You can play with lengthening your arms all the way out and trying to get your chin and chest to the floor. If this seems accessible to you. And press back up to your forearms if you did take that long one. If you're still in Baddha Konasana, lengthen it out. Try to reset. Maybe you try to get a little bit further in the forward flexion. Hold that. The groin holds a lot of tension. We want to hold it for a while. All right. I opened up my legs just a little bit more, even if it's just a millimeter. Tailbone lengthen down. Try to press your inner knees into the mat a little bit. Find some activity there. Inhale and slide forward out of this. You can release your Baddha Konasana. Bring the legs together. Both of us, or all of us, who were doing whatever, can push back into a child's pose. So lay on your stomach. Big toes touch, knees wide, child's pose. Try to push your hips back to your heels. Roll over onto your back. Let's give yourself another hug. You deserve hugs, all kinds of hugs. Peace finger bind on the big toes for your happy baby, or grabbing the outside of your feet. Final posture. Try to press your low back down into the mat as you drive the knees toward the mat, pulling with your hands. You can exhale and open the knees a little bit to find some more hamstring opening. What feels good here? Find it. A little exploration. And your happy baby. Try to keep the low back down. And we'll find happy baby together again. Exhale your way to a Shavasana. Start to bring some movements back into your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, arms overhead. Just woke up from a little nap. Roll on to whatever side and press yourself up to a seat. Thank you for joining today for our lower body quick stretch. Hope that we were able to create a little more freedom in your body so that you can feel great to take on the world today and be your best self for yourself and for all those around you. A lot of times this week is a stressful week for the holiday gatherings, seeing your family. A lot of things can happen. So a wonderful way to help yourself to escape from those feelings, or not necessarily escape from them, but to sit with them and feel them, is to move your body and to move your breath in a nice, quiet place. To just reset your mind, so you are able to get through and not. I guess a lot of people are triggered during the holidays, right? So it's a good time to decrease your stress by coming into your own space and still practicing, even if it's something like this, simple and easy, but you're able to be with your body and to be with your breath and to feel good. That'll just translate into all that around you. So, right, take some time for yourself these next couple of weeks. A lot of stuff is going on to set yourself up for success, to feel good in the new year. So that's what we're here for, to help. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about anything we did today, please feel free to ask. If you need some straps or anything, we have links on our website, feelgoodyoga.com. Have a wonderful day. Happy holidays. I'll see you soon.